Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor and we talk about everything and all things books. So today is a really exciting video that I wanted to kind of celebrate. I just recently surpassed 1 year on Booktube. It feels like really fast and really slow all at the same time. So yeah, so I saw this, I forget who I saw did this. I don't know exactly. I see if I can't find something. I know this is like a common Booktube tag. It's called the Booktube anniversary tag. So there we go. And so yeah, so we'll just get started. I have 11 questions and we'll just go straight through them and see how it goes. All right. So how many years on Booktube are you celebrating? Well, this is my 1 year anniversary, so that's exciting. I think my first video actually was my August TBR, and I posted that in like end of July, so it's kind of crazy to see it all kind of come full circle. So there we go. Number 2, how have you changed from your first video to now? I think maybe a little more comfortable in front of the camera. I think the first few times, or maybe half the times, I mean, it's been a little crazy. So yeah, so I think that's basically, I think I'm a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. It feels like I'm talking to somebody else, even though it's just me here. No one else is here. Except if you can hear my family in the background, that's where you can hear them. But yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, I think that's it. But yeah. Number 3, what has kept you motivated to keep making videos? So I think I'd just say just the community, because to be honest, it's been kind of hard, and I guess I'll answer that question in another one. Yeah, and a few questions down. But I think what's kept me motivated is just the excitement that the community kind of has overall. If it wasn't for fellow booktubers that I follow, I think I'm starting to slowly get more of a community. I think it's kind of hard when you're first starting out, but I think that's part of it. It's just being consistent, which is what I struggle with. So I think that's kind of what it is. It's just the community keeping me motivated and just seeing their excitement on and their content that they're creating, and I just want to be part of the cool kids. Okay, I just want to be part of the cool kids. Number 4, so yeah, well, what's kept me motivated? I think obviously I love to read too as well, and I just love talking about reading, so that's really what kept me really motivated. Is yeah, the community and reading, and just their love of reading and their excitement. And so yeah, it's just the whole thing. Okay. Number 4, what are 3 of your favorite videos that you made in the past year and why? I want to say, ironically, there's the 3 that kind of maybe, or kind of I was thinking about before I joined, and I wanted to talk about them because they're books that I always wanted to talk to somebody about, and some of them I'm like, I'm not hearing anyone talk about these one or some of these, so I really wanted to kind of just share my reading journey in that way by sharing the books that I loved before Booktube was a thing, kind of a thing. So my most favorite one was my favorite historical romances before Booktube. I did this whole series. I had one for favorite contemporary romance before Booktube, and favorite YA fantasy before, or young adult before Booktube. So I'll link those ones down below, but those were my favorite to create. I really thought about those the longest, and I wrote those out and just really was intentional in those ones as well. But yeah, those were my favorite ones to make. And I'm hoping to also do more collabs as well, because the ones that I also did my first collab video, which was part of like the booktubers across the USA, and that was just kind of fun, as well as the excitement of getting to collab with somebody else. And is a collaboration video, literally a combination of all of our from different states. So that was kind of hosted by Becky from Becky Reads. So that was so fun, and so that was fun to join. So yeah. Number 5, what's your most popular video? Well, ironically, the favorite historicals before Booktube, I think that's like up to 700 views. That seems to be the ones that continuously get views, is that one. And I mean, I love historical romances, and I think that's something that's also probably a gap here as well on Booktube, is historical romances and getting more representation. I think part of it too is it kind of sucks, and like the publishing right now isn't really publishing any new good like historical romances, or they're not getting as much light as or like even step backs. And I mean, we could probably have a whole discussion about this, really, to be honest, but yeah, that's my most popular, and I think that's probably because that's the most gap that we have as well. And I love to read historical, so that's fun to talk about and have an audience for, so that people who are looking for the same thing as me as well. So that's what's really fun. Number 6, what have you struggled with on Booktube, and how did you overcome it? I'm still struggling, to be honest. FOMO is a big thing. It's reality. But I think part of it is consistency, and I think because I feel like everyone else has their stuff together and I don't, because it's hard for me to be consistent, and that's something I'm still working on. I love reading, and I love this as a hobby, Booktube, because I have a full-time job. I am the sole breadwinner of the family and of my family, and from my husband and my kids, and it's a lot sometimes. So it feels like I also suffer with autoimmune diseases and other health issues that I'm dealing with right now. So sometimes I don't have the motivation or the energy, or even sometimes the mental space to be in front of the camera and put myself out there, because I think the worst thing I can do is not be authentic, and I want to be authentically me, but without putting too much of myself out there, if that makes sense. But yeah, so being consistent, part of it also, it takes a lot of time. This is a hobby. It takes a lot of time to prep for a video. You have to think of what you want to talk about. You have to read. You also have to like prepare for it. It means getting ready and getting your film stuff set up, and it does not need to be complicated, but it can take some time. I'm still battling with what's easiest to do. I started trying to do like a Google Drive type thing, but sometimes just like this helps. The problem is I don't have any other additional things to look up. Like if I forget like the blurb of something, then I feel like I'm not being helpful if I can't tell or say all the blurbs, and like people are going to be mad at me if I don't provide all the background or things that I can't remember, because also I suffer with memory problems. I have brain fog. I can never say this. Brain fog to the max. Sometimes I will just space out because I'm literally thinking about it, and I can see in my brain what I'm trying to say, but it won't come up. It's like I know what I'm trying to say, but the word of what that thing is I'm trying to say just won't pop up in my head. So that also comes part of the autoimmune disease fun stuff. So it's not really fun, but so that's kind of hard. So I am trying to be all from my family, but at the same time I know I'm lacking. To be honest, I feel like I'm struggling sometimes, that I'm not, because I'm the sole breadwinner, I feel like I'm not really being a mom, and then sometimes I feel like I'm not really being a wife, and then at the same time I'm a little bit not neurodivergent, if you can't tell, so I have these hyper fixations on my hobbies. So so it can be, at the same time you have this fear, so you're also putting yourself out there on the internet, so it can feel a lot, but yeah, so yeah, So having the autoimmune disease is kind of like, it can put me down in energy level significantly because I feel like I'm always on at work. And so at the end of the day, that's the only time that I can really record or film for YouTube is at the end of the day at night when my kids are asleep, and that can be a struggle. That's usually why, if I can't, that's usually why you'll see me not post for a couple of weeks, is because I don't have the time or the space to do it at night or the energy. So like today I'm actually posting or recording in the day on the weekend, but at the same time I'm also battling with, you know, I'm not spending time with my family doing that right now, so I'm taking, just so I can get all the content, all the fun stuff out. So doing it, I'm trying to bulk film so that I don't feel stressed about it throughout the month and thinking about it, because then I'm over stressing it and thinking it and over analyzing it, and then I lose the motivation to even do it and just put it off. And then I feel like I'm letting people down because I'm not doing it, even though it's a hobby and there's no one really here. But that's why I really appreciate people who even spend their time watching me or follow me, you know, on Instagram, whatever, is like, or YouTube, and watching my videos, is because it's just really nice that someone's spending their day watching you and likes to watch your videos and hear what you have to say. So that's what's really nice and motivating and helps me in those times, like, hey, that joy of talking about something is out there, even if there's not very many views, at least it's out there and such. So that was a really long ramble. But we're just letting it all hang out here, okay? Number 7, have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments? How do you handle it? To be honest, I haven't had a bad experience. I think the only experience that I have feeling negative is internal. It's my own perception of maybe someone doesn't like me, or they're not commenting, or the FOMO is I'm not being, everyone else is collabing and they don't want to collab with me because they don't like me, kind of a thing. So it's my own internal perceptions, and I know it's not real. It's just my own, like, oh, FOMO or whatever like that. But it's just, I think that's part of what I'm lacking, is I want to, it's nothing no one else is doing. It's just not wanting to feel left out, kind of a thing. And so that's what's been, so yeah, that's what I've been struggling with. It's just, I just want to be able to not just feel like I'm putting out content. I just want, it seems to me I want to do more collaboration content. That to me has been what's been feeling like it would be more fun. But yeah, I haven't really had anyone say anything negative to me at all. So, which has been great, which I think kind of for me really is such a great representation of how the romance community is, and why it's such a great community. So number 8, choose one moment from the last year on Booktube that you would like to relive. I can't really think of any. I do have to say that my first time reaching out to April to ask, because someone like recommended, like, really the only thing to collab with anybody is you just have to reach out, and part of it is you just feel weird when you're reaching out on Instagram or whatever. And what's so great about Discord is, like, I didn't even know that was a place. Like, how do you talk to other people without just having to talk on their YouTube channels or their Instagram, because it's, you know, it's one-to-one. So that has been great to know as well. So I think that feeling of, like, she actually said yeah. Like, yeah, that'd be great. And, like, you know, it kind of developed that, you know, friendship, relationship kind of a thing. So I think that was nerve-wracking. But at the end of it, I don't know, I think we all have a little bit of anxiety. Like, I don't know, I'm a little bit of an introvert, but, like, asking someone to do something is nerve-wracking. And at the same time, I don't want them to feel bad if they don't want to or don't have the capacity. So it can be it's nerve-wracking at the same time, but it was kind of cool. So I don't know if I want to relive it, but I want to say it was like my first big, I'm proud of myself. I took that first big step, you know. Number 9, what is the best book you've read this past year? Okay, so part of that collab that I did with Becky, we talked about our favorite books so far this year. Mine has been The Day of the Duchess by Sarah MacLean for historical romance. so far. But I'm on the bandwagon. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I really enjoyed Fourth Wing. I even pre-ordered that. But yeah, Crescent City, the book one, that was fun too as well. It's really hard to ask that question of a reader, what's your favorite book, but because there's not very many 5 stars or 6 stars, as I say, they're like all-time favorites, but when they happen, it's just like, I don't want to knock anyone off of my number 1 or number 2. They're all kind of very similar, but to me, and the feeling that they evoke from me as a favorite book. But I would say, but yeah. And I also did enjoy, when I first started in January, the From Blood and Ash series, Glow from Raven Kennedy. So I only read the first 3 books of the From Blood and Ash series, so I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know, it was like, I don't know, I loved it. It's not my absolute favorite, but I really did enjoy it. So, but yeah, so Day of the Duchess, for historical romance, it has everything that I like. It's second chance, it's a marriage in trouble, it's emotional, pining, a little angsty. There's a great grovel, but yeah, it's so far, it's been really very a romantic romance, I would say, that's for sure. Number 10, where do you see your channel in 1 year's time? I'm still obviously very new to Booktube, but I would hope to see more collabs channels, and I would like to someday do more like vlog types, but I just don't know. I only record on my phone. I don't have like a camera to record on, and it's hard sometimes to do content when you kind of want to use your phone. I use all my notes and things on there sometimes, so it's easier. But I don't know how I would coordinate that with the phone and the camera separate. But that's also something I like to do. It's just it feels kind of weird to be out in public and doing like shopping vlogs. I did do one vlog, a shopping vlog, when I went around the libraries to book sales and such, or bookstores, and did that. I will post that down below so you can see that. But I want to do more reading vlogs. I just don't know how to do that, but I think for me, I might just start out doing Instagram stories. I don't even show my face on Instagram that much though, especially for the romance readathon for this month of August. I definitely want to do more Instagram stories and just start that way on talking about books, because as I have those thoughts as I'm reading the book, intermittently, that's not like a well thought out kind of thought, but just something to talk about as I'm reading it and experiencing it. I think part of the problem is just being on my phone. I don't know how I would do it to remember everything in my... I'm sure there's a way. I'm overthinking it, as you can tell, is to get it all in my phone somewhere in a folder, so that it can be saved there, so I can just move it over to a video for editing. So I'm still figuring that part out. So I'm still thinking about that, but I definitely want to do more collab videos. So if you want to do a collaboration with me, please feel free to comment down below, or just give me a message on Instagram. I'm still Books Forever After on Instagram as well. But yeah, I think that would be something that's more fun for me to look forward to, is doing more collabs with others and getting to talk about with books with other booktubers over here as well. So oh yeah, and I also the other thing as well for my channel is I've been grappling with doing, I want to create, kind of inspired by this Johanna Lindsay read along, is I want to create my own book club. But I don't want to say too many details on that yet, because I don't know who would be the co-host yet. So but yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of, is I would like to create a book club with another co-host, and then have guest co-hosts and such, every month or something like that. So the specifics aren't out yet, so that's just something I'm thinking about. But that's something I would love to do. I really enjoyed that part of the read along this year. So I'm looking forward to maybe possibly creating my own book club. So yeah. Number 11, which is like the last question, is what piece of advice would you give to someone thinking of starting YouTube? Something I would I would practice and not preach is really just take it one step at a time. It can be hard for me thinking of everything, all the high level and like where you want to be and all the things that would be involved in that. It can be overwhelming. So then you think you get overwhelmed and then you just feel disheartened, like you're not gonna be perfect on day one. It's a journey, and to start small, start with a camera, start with one video a week. It can be exciting and you want to post like all the time, but start with a video a week. I use a VN editor app. Like I have a Samsung, so I don't have Apple phone, so I use I edit on my phone. I'm not the best at it, but I'm learning. I use Canva as well, and I use the free version. I did buy the pro version for a little bit. I canceled that for a couple months, but I might pick it up again. It's like $13 or so a month, so with the pro version, which I think is probably worth it. But yeah, there's all sorts of information out there, and there's so many videos you can search on there on Booktube 101 kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's just take one day at a time. You don't have to have all the pretty film equipment. Just start with your phone. I mean, I started with no microphone, just my phone, and now I have like a microphone thing there. I had a ring light already from the time when I was thinking of doing it years ago, but just start small, and you'll work from there. And there's my kids, you can hear them. All right. So I think I want to tag somebody. Another booktuber that I think is her first year anniversary time as well is Tara from Tara Talks Books. She was actually one of the first subscribers, and one of the first person I also watched her videos as well. So it's kind of cool to see us both grow. So I tag Tara for this booktube tag, and also April from Happily Ever April. So I know her channel is also has reached near the 1 year time as well. Alright, so that was a lot. I feel a little vulnerable right now. But yeah, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. Liking really helps me out, helps my channel grow. And if you'd like to comment, please go ahead and comment down below anything you like. And if you don't want to comment anything, if you just want to comment say a pink heart, there you go. That'll be good. Alright, well, thank you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.